Trying to pick up who's lining up on who is going to be interesting. Peter Dacos will be ruck roving, it would appear. And there they are.
Yes, that would take Kelly on the inside there, the first one, and there's the Geelong bench, including Damien Burke.
First quarter, Foster's Cup action from the Joe Robbie Stadium. And I think we should mention too that it is real grass out there, not the artificial stuff. Tony Shaw got first possession. He's going to get first free kick too. Gives a good idea of how the wind swirls. Shaw's kick, landing round about what we'll call centre half forward. Bairstow charges forward. Mullane soccers off the ground, out of bounds, not on the full, and it will be thrown in. Round about left half forward flank. Flanagan against Cloak. Over the top with Starcevic and Stoneham. Geelong go forward. The ball booted up towards midfield. Centre square is a little bit smaller than we'd normally see. Kerrison just about boots it out of bounds on the full. Hugs the boundary line with the kick. Chance for Stooks. Gets offloaded by Kerrison. And once more we'll see a throw in. A little bit dark in that corner down there. It's a part of the field that would not normally be used for American football. Dacos sharks it off the pack. And again, some soccer tactics. The ball up to midfield to take it away for Collingwood by Brown. The Magpies doing all the attacking so far. Good hip and shoulder there by Linda. I think that's what the crowd have come to see. Darcy and Taylor again out of bounds, and once more it will be a throw-in about 15 to 20 metres around from the scoring area.
Yes, and very congested play early in the game, and this much smaller ground than these players are used to. Boundary thrown only 15-20 metres away from the Collingwood goal. David Cloak trying to burst through the pack, gets boots a ball and out of bounds on the full. So a free kick to be taken by Geelong, going to Sean Denham. Denham had an excellent season for Geelong. Kicks the ball long, up wing, two big fellows. Well done, Darren Flanagan takes the mark. Heads back inboard, off the side of the boot. Ball running towards the boundary line. Kerrison there, Turner in over the top. Ball's tapped out wide. Left foot snap towards Banks. Free kick down ground. No, in fact, the ball is going back. And it'll be Robert Scott to take the free kick. Oh, Peter, that's a very different angle, isn't it? I suppose it's about 40 metres out. Goes in short. McGuan knocks it away. And in the back to Tony Shaw.
To take the free kick. To Dacos.
Tony Shaw back through the centre of the ground. Kicking high. Big pack of players. Excellent punch from behind. Dacos picks up the loose ball. Kicks in short. The kick gathers no air. Matthew Ryan in over the ball. McGuan in over it too. Austin McCrabb does very, very well and kicks the ball forward. Kerrison in front again. Christian over the ball. Ball on the ground. Brown was caught with the ball and a bounce will occur. So played very willing at the start of this first quarter in the 1988 Foster's Cup. Bounce fellows. Flanagan out wide. David Cameron into an open goal. First goal of the match. David Cameron, 1 goal to Geelong.
Let's go! Let's go! Sportsco!
Spring into Sportsco for Puma all-purpose tennis shoes at only $79.
Sportsco!
Or Spalding basketball slam dunk down to a winning $19.99.
Sportsco!
And Adidas TRX competition running shoes at a record low $69.
Go! Yeah! Go! Wow! Sportsco!
Get activated.
Back into the centre. A good start by the Cats after Collingwood did all the early attacking. Out to half forward. Picked up by Yates. A whistle has gone. The advantage rule paid. He goes long. That will get the ball to within about 25 metres of goal. Banks can't get clear. Now he finally does. Kicks into the man. Shaw offloads it. Dacos at midfield. Flanagan in pursuit. Gets the hand pass out. Picked up for Collingwood by Ryan. Is it the Magpies first? Looks good. And the goal.
Oh, fantastic play through the centre of the ground then from Collingwood. Dennis Banks got his boots of ball. Eventually went to Tony Shaw, and Shaw on to Dacos, who bounced the ball and gave it off to Matthew Ryan, who kicked very truly. So a quick reply from Collingwood.
20 and a quarter minutes left in the opening term. 1 goal each. And the Magpies will swing into attack again. Once more the ball picked up by Ryan. Gets around the big fellow Flanagan okay. Still inside the square. Taylor in front. Can't mark. Good defence by Darcy. Linda is there. Well, Cloak went through pretty solidly. Now a charge for the Cats. Linda has to lob it high. Flanagan out on centre wing. Long hand pass and effective. Bairstow collected well by Christian. Stopped him in his tracks. Scott can score from there. One behind. A very tricky angle. And of course the breeze here is something that's pretty hard to predict which way it's going to go. Outside it's about a 15 knot southeasterly, but in the stadium it does indeed swirl. Austin McCrabb in front, can't take the mark. Knocked further forward by Bairstow, and it will be out of bounds in front of Gavin Brown. Almost at centre wing. Flanagan with Fellows. Fellows gets the front position and ultimately gets his kick in. Denham races into goal, won't score from there. Banks will try the spoil, does so, could have almost given away a free kick. Morwood hugs the boundary line and in fact has put it over, and so it will be a free kick to Geelong. You can get a pretty good idea of the angle there. The boundary line isn't straight. Now, who's going to take it? Is it Alderdice? No, he's given it over to Cameron, who kicked the first goal. He's right out in the bleachers.
He's almost up in the grandstand with all the supporters.
And he decides to play on. I would say, judging by reaction, has missed one behind.
Peter, it's only a small crowd, but it's been very vocal, isn't it?
Very vociferous, yeah.
Keeps all the noise in. Terrific.
Capacity for the stadium, the Joe Robbie Stadium, which was opened in August of last year, is 75,000. It would indeed be a great sight to see.
Banks short to McGuan. McGuan also short to Dacos. Courageous from Dacos. Scott just takes his eye off the ball, puts some pressure on Christian, and umpire Brian Sheehan calls for the bounce. Almost the true centre wing position, probably 65 metres, 70 metres from either side's goal. Free kick to Flanagan. Fellows imposing from behind. He really should put the ball to the front of the goal square here rather than attack the goal square. And that's about the spot he does. Brownless almost. Shane Morwood holds his ground in front and goes out wide to Matthew Ryan. And Ryan marks in front of Austin McCrabb. Plays on immediately. Goes back in through the middle. Chips the pass short to Turner. It's Brown in fact. Brown. Turner now. Up towards Taylor.
Mullane gets the front position. He came over here incidentally as part of an advance guard. He almost finished up outside the stadium then, Darren Mullane. Well, the umpire's played a free kick going Geelong's way. Fellows sets himself over the top as Christian, probably spoiled his teammate. Scott at the bottom of the pack. Through the legs of Yates. He's on the bottom. Back to Scott, almost caught with it. Umpire calls play on. Going through very solidly was Darren Troy. Over the head of Linda. And the ball up towards centre wing. And Jamie Turner goes down. White using plenty of weight. I think it's not White, it's Cameron. Free kick going to Geelong again. Linda the recipient. That's a beautiful long kick up into the square, and that's almost a mark to Brownless.
Yes, Peter, in fact,
he has paid it.
Yes, he paid an infringement before he actually marked it. Bruce Linda playing on the ball.
Covering plenty of territory. Now, he's only about 8 metres out. Hits the post. And in fact nearly knocked it over. So a point that makes Geelong 1-3 and Collingwood 1 goal. The crowds here, of course, intrigued by the goal umpires. Not so much by what they do, but what they wear. Kick out taken by Brown. And it's a fine mark taken by David Cloak. And Cloak well within kicking distance, about 35 metres out, and directly in front of goal.
Interesting wristbands there too. Very warm night, perspiration. So David Cloak using wristbands. Kicks, looks pretty true. Second goal to Collingwood.
Spot said we better duck for cover because the missus wanted some new colour. But that was okay because Mitre 10's big price cut specials had saved the day. Save $6 on every 4-litre can of Taubman's Living Proof Silk. Not $38.95, now $32.95. Look, $5 off every 4-litre can of Taubman's Sunproof Satin. Not $37.95, pay only $32.95.
How about that, eh, Spot?
Yeah, Mitre 10's got the flaming lot.
Mitre 10. You need it, they've got it.
Back into the centre, Collingwood leads by 3 points, 12 plays 9 in the first quarter here at the Joe Robbie Stadium. Centre square infringement, the free kick is going to Damien Burke. Oh, Mark spilt down there by Bairstow. Did well to get boot to ball, lobs it into the square, Brownless almost, Turner defending well, Dacos, skills to Banks, who fumbles, 20-metre hand pass, Fellows, wearing those runners or moulded sole boots. Banks again out to right half forward. Deep pocket out there, and the ball beats Darcy over the boundary line for a throw-in. As you can see, the lighting there not particularly good. Of course, that part of the field wouldn't be in use in an American game. It's Burke at the front, loses out to two Collingwood opponents. That's Darren Troy on the boundary line, which there is straight as a die. Now Linda again. Oh, cops one too high. Mark, free kick, whatever. Doesn't get too much distance with the kick. Christian. Beautiful. Oh, Morwood made a meal of that. Christian gets it back to him for take two. Now he flicks out the hand pass. Starcevic, not a good one to Mullane. McCrabb, grab when not in possession, and he should take the free kick to go back. Jim Darcy trying it on. Umpire didn't wear it. Austin McCrabb at centre half back to get the Cats out of danger.
So at centre half back, McCrabb kicks up in the Alderdice direction, plays him in front, does it well, brings it to ground, recovers up, throws the ball out wide. Fellows, Darcy clash, Kerrison out wide. Brown under pressure. Mullane comes in to assist. Handballs it out in front of Peter Dacos. Dacos onto Ryan. Ryan swings the ball down in front of the Taylor. Taylor got to beat two. He's got grabbed too high and will take a free kick some 35 metres out on about a 45-degree angle. So Brian Taylor lining up for his first goal and Collingwood's third. Kick off the side of the boot and 1 point score. So Collingwood 2 goals 1, Geelong 1 goal 3.
Magpies leading by 4 points. James Manson warming up. Won't take him too long to do that here. Again in Toronto tomorrow week. It might take just a little bit longer when the winners of our 2 matches this week play in the final of the Foster's Cup. Stoneham to Cloak, who was grabbed too high. Scott to Bairstow. Long kick into the square. That should have been too high, surely on Brownless, and the umpire who's seen it, Bill Brownless, to take the free kick almost directly in front of goal.
Yes, and Bill Brownless just causing Dennis Banks a few problems with his height. They're not really kicking the ball to him, but it's coming in high.
And his spring, got a good leap, hasn't he? So Bill Brownless, chance for a Geelong goal, and he's got it.
It's the ute that made Australia great. An Aussie's ute is an Aussie's mate, and Falcon makes the Aussie ute with a great big 6 for a ton of boot.
Falcon Ute and Falcon Band, they're building up this mighty land, paying their way and a whole lot more. The power of a 6 for the price of a 4.
When you want big power with real car comfort, there's only one choice: Ford Falcon Utes and Vans, the big Aussies.
The power of a 6 for the price of a 4.
So it's 2 points the difference in favour of Geelong after that goal to Bill Brownless. 15 plays 13 in the Foster's Cup from the Joe Robbie Stadium in Miami. Burke, Dacos, grab when not in possession. The free kick against Denham. Cloak tries to break clear. The advantage rule played. It's a shocker. Mullane out of bounds. and a boundary throw-in. Well, as Malcolm mentioned earlier, the crowd not large, but they are nonetheless quite vociferous. Cloak wins that one. I don't know where he tried to hit it though, just the same. And umpire Peter Carey comes in for the bounce. It's about 35 to 40 metres out from the Collingwood goal.
Ball about to go down again. Ball punched out wide. Tony Shaw first there. Does well to tap it back inside. Oh, and then a handball out, which will be a deliberate handball out, and a free kick will go. Michael Schulz, the offender, and Tony Shaw from a very, very difficult angle. He's going to try a banana kick, I would say. Or check side, Peter.
We'll stick to the banana kick.
There you go. So Tony Shaw, from only 15 metres out, does the banana kick and kicks truly. Great goal. So Collingwood's third goal. They go on to 3-1-19. Geelong trailing 2 goals, 3-15. 4 points. As we watch in replay.
Well, we've seen some good banana kicks done recently. I guess Dermot Brereton's in the grand final was one of the best in recent times, but that produced the same result.
Back in the centre, the two number 30s. Manson and Burke gets a big thump forward. Christian first there, paddles the ball along in front of him. Then backs up Kerrison. Turner in over the ball as the ball heads towards the boundary line and out of bounds. In the true wing position of this ground, and it's certainly a lot wider away from goals there. A lot more ground to cover. Two ruckmen try, push it back inside to Damien Burke. To ground, Manson picks up, throws the ball out wide. Kerrison again gets terrific body over the ball. Manson ends up with Tony Shaw. The bouncing ball, knocked off the ball by Sean Denham. Denham paddles it back. Shane Hamilton there, can't control the ball, and a whole pack of players eventually comes out again. Quick kick by Denham, goes to Bairstow. Bairstow sets up play, puts an excellent kick out in front of Brownless. Great play from Mark Bairstow. And Billy Brownless would be well advised to have a ping there, nothing really on.
Well, he'd have to kick to the left, wouldn't he? Because we were down there, that wind is blowing from left to right.
And there it goes, starts to push to the right, but I think it's stuck in. Yes, great play.
This is the key to the future of lawnmower. New Victor Mustang Key Start. Turn a key and it starts every time. And like all Victor mowers, this new Mustang Key Start is fitted with GTS, the guaranteed to start microchip electronic ignition system. New Victor Mustang Key Starts with GTS, guaranteed to start microchip electronic ignition.
21 plays 19, I should say. The Cats into attack again. Kerrison tried to get it through for a point. I think he might have done that actually. I'll wait on the goal umpire for this one. He has. It did go over the line. So a point rushed to Geelong. Takes them to 3-4. Collingwood 3-1. He was almost off Morwood. Some left half-back flank, we'll call it. Back up to centre field, and that could have almost been a mark to Troy. The umpire maybe a little bit harsh in not playing it. Mullane trying to use brute strength to get out of trouble. Couldn't do so. Almost a trip on Brown. Now back to Mullane. Mullane fires the pass to right half forward. The recipient is Tony Shaw. Looks for space, gets it onto Dacos. Hugs the boundary line. Shot by Dacos. Looks pretty good. Crowd likes it. So does the goal umpire.
Fourth goal to Collingwood. What great skill set from Peter Dacos. Out wide. 4-1 Collingwood, 3-4. As we look again from behind the goals, in what is a very, very tricky win, he judged it to perfection. And what has been a very, very entertaining first quarter.
It has. Less than 6 minutes to go. 25 to 22. Both sides tackling well at the moment. A lot of loose balls there for the crumb gatherers. Stoneham from Flanagan. Back up to midfield. Jamie Turner, maybe a little bit lucky there to get that one, but he takes it nonetheless. On to Paul Hawke. First interchange, swung by Lee Matthews. Cloak at the back. Stoneham in front. Bairstow should get there first to do the tidying up for Geelong. He does so and gets the Cats out of danger.
Out wide, Tim Darcy, two grab mark, onto Denham. Denham onto his left foot. He had Troy clear, but it's gone over his head. And Christian comes into support, now ends up with Alderdice, gets the ball out, and a stack of players, and you would have to say that was too high to Darren Troy. So tackle came around the neck as he was on the ground. Brownless makes the lead, the ball goes in his direction. Big pack of players. Banks comes away with it. To Hawke under tremendous pressure. Oh, grabbed high is Bruce Linder. And Linder plays on again. Shouldn't score from here. The kick is off the side, the inside of the boot, and out of bounds on the fall. Very small ground to what these players are used to. Quick scoring is the order of the night. Kerrison kicks out straight back to the middle of the ground. Stoneham from behind with the punch was good. Denham, like a good rover, was on the ground. Kicks out wide. Bairstow in space. Got time to settle. Got a lot of time to settle. Now goes to the front of the goal square. Over the back. Brownless almost again. Quick handball. Morwood does well off the ground. A free kick will go to that player who was very, very desperate on the last line. So Shane Morwood had a very good season for Collingwood. Kicks out wide. Manson the direction. Taps on well. Oh, well picked up by Stoneham. Stoneham goes in and Brownless.
He's playing well, isn't he?
Terrific skill set by Barry Stoneham. Big fella getting down that low. And Brownless leading well. And really Banks had no chance at all. So Brownless for goal number 3 and Collingwood to hit the lead again. Once again he pokes at it.
Behind.
1 point. He's got that stabbing action, trying to steer the ball rather than kick through the ball on that occasion.
23-25 is the scoreboard in the first quarter with 3.5 minutes to go. No time on being played in these quarters. 4:25 minutes. Kerrison, beautiful kick with this swirling breeze. Might have almost been in the back against Michael Christian. And Darren Troy, that's not Troy, it's Brownless, covering plenty of territory. Brownless from what would be half back. Manson at the back. Now claiming the mark is Michael Turner, and the umpire has paid it. Been fairly quiet so far in the opening term. Turner should be able to score from there and restore the lead for Geelong. They've had 8 effective scoring shots to Collingwood's 5. Turner. Well, that breeze is causing them a few problems down there as we predicted. It's another point. So 3-6 to 4-1. 1 point the difference. Ball back into play towards the centre wing position. Paul Hawke in plenty of space out there. Centering kick. Looking for Cloak or Taylor. Ryan. Oh, robes it beautifully. Did it stay in? Yes, it did for a goal.
Good call it, Peter. Wasn't that magnificent roving and a great one pickup? And that's the beauty of not fumbling. As we see him get the ball to boot quickly, looking from behind the goals, and a very, very smart piece of play from Matthew Ryan.
Well, Collingwood leading 31-24, but Geelong have had most of the play. It'll be interesting to see how the Magpies handle the other end, because I think that is the one, as Lee Matthews looks on interestedly, most affected by this swirling breeze. Outside, it's about a 15-knot southeasterly, blowing every which way inside. Knocked down by Flanagan. The catch through Linder. It's a wrestle down there. Now the umpire's found a free kick going Geelong's way. It's against Shane Morwood. And umpire Brian Sheen indicating where the mark is.
Yeah, Shane Morwood has been moved on to Brownless, Peter. It certainly was giving Dennis Banks some problem. This is the one he had trouble with earlier as we looked from behind. As Brownless now lines up and kicks right through that one.
For his third goal. So Geelong come back again to within 1 point of Collingwood, 4-6 to 5-1, and Bill Brownless has kicked 3. Could have had a couple more, actually. Playing very, very well. Brownless, 3 goals so far. Moving around a lot. And the ball back into the centre, almost. So Ryan, 2 goals for Collingwood. Brownless 3 for Geelong have been the main scorers so far. Bill Brownless, of course, had his career almost ended by a very serious injury a couple of seasons back, and it's great to see him performing well so far in this match. 31-30, almost at quarter time, 15 seconds left. The knock on from Dacos goes out in the direction of Brown towards centre wing. Ryan, one of Collingwood's prime movers so far, down towards full forward, or left half forward flank we'll call it. Yates looking for a free kick for holding the ball, but it's going to be a bounce, and in fact there is the siren to end the first quarter. A very interesting affair, and the score shows Collingwood leading 5-1, 31-4, 6:30 quarter time in the Foster's Cup.
That's it. Had enough. I understand you've worked all your life and you can't afford a holiday.
Where do you want to go?
Anywhere but here.
Okay, let's do it.
What with?
Read this.
You've got this much? We've got this much? How did we do this?
It's called savings, Dan. Remember, savings comes before spending.
Bit of interest.
Every day of the year.
I can't take this. You saved it. It's your money.
No, it's our money, Stan.
For a minimum deposit of $50, a State Bank investment account allows you to watch your money grow while you earn high interest calculated daily. And your money's at call.
Seems a shame to spend it.
I'm sure you'll think of something.
State Bank investment account. We never forget. It's your money.
Whitehorse Motors has a new $2 million service centre at Blackburn with perhaps the most modern facilities in Victoria. If you're a mechanic with current Jaguar or Range Rover experience and would like to earn up to $525 a week, contact Whitehorse Motors now.
What can we do? What can we do? What can we do?
Smaller customers again.
Can't afford to lose them and we can't afford to keep them. They're our bread and butter, Moira.
Accountants will never understand that.
Huh. Wouldn't it be lovely if all of life added up as simply as it does for accountants?
Of course, if we could handle them without our salespeople having to call on them.
Moira, this is a company which has thrived on the strength of its personalised service.
Which our smaller customers can't seem to justify anymore.
Aye, there's the rub.
The telephone's a very personal way of serving a customer.
Moira, what an excellent idea. Even if I do say so myself.
The Australian Furniture Thoroughbred sales are now on at all Fussy Furniture Fella outlets. You'll find the finest thoroughbreds in the land being sold to the best bidder. Thoroughbreds such as this superb solid Jarrah suite from Swan Valley and this magnificent Blackwood dining suite by JR. Just make a reasonable offer. Everything must go. And don't miss this chance to win a Spring Carnival hamper. The Australian Furniture Thoroughbred sales at the Fussy Furniture Fella, East Keilor, Thomastown, Mitcham and the new Clayton store.
Nissan Patrol, the most advanced four-wheel drive down under. It makes all other four-wheel drives seem primitive. With Go Anywhere Patrol's all-new four-coil suspension, you get the handling and ride comfort of the car. Patrol's powerful 4.2-litre diesel or petrol sixes leave all other four-wheel drives back in the Stone Age. Nissan Patrol. It's Australia's 4x4 of the year. That's Nissan know-how, building the right vehicles for Australia.
Ball out there that'll line it up.
1 point the difference at quarter time as Lee Matthews addresses his players at the first change. Ryan, the major goal kicker for Collingwood. And Geelong, Billy Brownless has 3, has been playing particularly well. Malcolm, how did you see the first quarter?
Well, it was a very even first quarter. I think Geelong probably had more of the ball. 4 goals, 6-30, and only trailed Collingwood 31 by 1 point. I really do think Bill Brownless was terrific up forward. He ended up with 3 goals 2, and hit the post once. They've made the move there. Collingwood, on the other hand, when they've gone forward, it's generally been open and they've kicked their goals very, very easily indeed with some pretty good direct play. So it's been an entertaining first quarter. What's that, 10, 17 shots at goal? What's that, 9, 7, 16 shots at goal? It's a pretty good first quarter.
Be a fairly high-scoring game, I would expect. Not a bad crowd here. I don't think any more, well, they wouldn't have expected too many more. 6 cameras being used here tonight, and we have a female camera person on 1. There she is. Wave, Michelle. She's a lot better looking than some of the guys back home.
Oh,
who I know are watching.
They're going to be wrapped with that, Peter.
Incidentally, this stadium named after the owner of the Miami Dolphins, Joe Robbie. It has a real grass, a real turf surface. They hope to be playing soccer here when the World Cup comes to America, and they'll also be using it as the venue for this year's Super Bowl. So Aussie Rules has beaten American football to the Showpiece Stadium in the United States.
It's the Geelong coach for the night, Dennis Davey, and he's done an excellent job with the juniors. And it's terrific to see Dennis here with the side, and is performing very well.
I think Lee Matthews was impressed by their tackling in the opening quarter. He said in his address there, and you heard it, I'm sure, they were going at the ball a little bit harder than you were. Let's see what happens in the second term. 4-6 to 5-1. Geelong had most of the play on their forward line, but they couldn't capitalise. I think we can put that down to the breeze.
Yes, both sides, Peter, playing a loose man in defence.
Umpire Peter Carey comes in to bounce the ball to start proceedings in the second term of this Foster's Cup match. Joe Robbie Stadium in beautiful Miami. Float goes at the ball pretty hard, ducks the head, gets rewarded with the free kick. Finds Starcevic. Now let's see how Craig Starcevic can handle this breeze. He would need to aim for the left-hand goalpost, although really he could be kicking almost into it if it's still the same as it was earlier. Ball standing right up into the breeze, and he might have missed altogether. No, one behind. So Collingwood increased their lead by that margin. They lead by 2 points. Ball back into play from Linda. In fact, he's got it to the centre circle. There was a wild fist in there for a moment or two. Picked up by Dacos, who hasn't been his damaging self so far. The whistle on play. Dacos comes up with the free kick. Dacos just short of centre field. And now he can't play on. He had the free kick, and Peter Dacos was not alive to that rule, and the ball will be bounced. The umpire certainly was well umpired, Peter Carey. Of course, they don't play that in South Australia, I noticed, during their grand final last week. Ryan, who was a damaging player in the opening term. Dacos on to Turner. Centering kick, tries to find Taylor. Looks for a lead, and the mark is taken out there directly in front of goal by McGuan, who I think spent most of the first quarter, if not all of it, on the bench. Kicking style reminiscent of Bill Picken. I won't say kicked it like him. One behind to the Magpies, 5-3 to 4-6.
It's interesting that, Peter, both those kicks from that side have gone direct, and I think the players have been allowing for the breeze and hasn't pulled it back. It's really when you get over this side, it's more difficult. Bruce Linder kicking in, tries to go with the torpedoes off the side. There was a clash in the centre of the ground. Back to Dacos. Kicks out wide, very wide in fact. First there is David Cameron, trying to bring the ball back into play, does so. Geelong outnumbered 3-2 then, so they win the ball. Shane Ward attacks the ball well. Bursts through, kick off the inside of the boot. Sean Denham onto his left foot, kicks the ball forward, through the hands of Kerrison. Brownless taps it cleverly. Kerrison reads it very well. Taylor in to put pressure on. Back to Morwood. Play on, calls the umpire. Out wide to Tony Shaw. Shaw with some space. Hooks the ball back with no air. Starcevic in the back. And will get the free kick. So Craig Starcevic right on the point of the square. Kicks to the pocket. Michael Schulz from behind. Takes a well-judged mark. Plays on immediately to Flanagan. Flanagan could have given Hamilton the ball. Elects to go long. Alderdice in the air. Yates bursting through. He also kicks direct. The ball over everyone's head bar Kerrison, who taps it forward and then kicks it out of bounds on the fall. Or hasn't the boundary umpire called it that way? No, he hasn't. So it'll just be a throw in some 25 to 30 metres around from the Geelong goal. So Manson and Alderdice. Turner very clever off the ground. Can he keep his balance? He can't. And off balance, kicks, and a free kick will be taken by Gafer on that last line for Collingwood. Gafer looking at options. Next to go along with a wobbly punt kick. It beats out all players. Through comes Darren Troy, meets the ball solidly, then pushes the player off in Morwood. Kicks out wide, 2-on-1 here. The numbers favour Collingwood. Christian first to recover. Back pedals, handballs in towards Shaw. Over his head, McGuan throws the ball on the ground and then is pushed in the back by Bairstow. And a free kick will go to Michael McGuan.
So Mick McGuan making his presence felt in the second term. Goes for a short pass. Mullane. Again short. Well, you can get away with that on this ground, I guess, really. Brown's kick is out of bounds, I think, on the full. Yes, it is. That is right on the boundary line. Or over it. Kick taken by Linda. He was ruck roving in the first quarter and covered a lot of ground. Tony Shaw, did he get one in the back? Not so, said the umpire. And Peter Carey will bounce it just on the edge of the square. Manson, Flanagan, fresh air shot almost from Flanagan. Turner trying to break through. Kerrison. Actually, the kicking tonight hasn't been particularly good. I don't know whether the players have lost sight of the ball and the lights. They haven't seen, but the great skills of the game haven't been apparent, Malcolm, yet.
No, what happens is on nights like this, it's very slippery and your arms perspire in your hands, and it's very difficult to put the ball onto the boot right.
Cloak gets the front position. In turn gets it out to Ryan. He went for a short pass. It was too short, but well picked up by Taylor. In turn over to McGuan again. That's his third kick this quarter. And out of bounds on the full.
Don't the Americans love it when someone has a shot for goal? They really love the ball getting down towards the goals. And also souvenir the ball almost.
Hasn't come back yet. There it is. They're not onto it yet. Won't take them long.
Where am I,
now,
Dennis?
back into the centre. Stoneham almost had the mark. Probably lost it in the lights again. Brown over to Ryan. In pursuit is Darcy. Now that might be downfield, and in fact it will be. Dacos will take the free kick off the edge of the square. On a lead is Taylor, and marks just inside the boundary line, which is only a couple of metres from the rather solid brick wall there. Now this is the tricky side from which to try to score. See how he's handled that one. Touch through, I think. The all clear is given. We'll wait on the score. It's one behind. So a point to Collingwood. Their third for this quarter, 5-4. And Geelong yet to add to their tally at quarter time. So scoring perhaps not as quick as we would have expected in the second term. Linda again. Straight up the ground. Cloak knocks it forward. Manson. Starcevic. Mullane. Tries to hook it back. Dacos marks in front of goal.
Yes, excellent play then from Mullane, and it was great to see Peter Dacos then just turn his body. He knew he was under pressure, so he just turned his body on the side, and Sean Denham really did just bounce off him.
And Dacos literally kicking into this breeze. What's he done? It's a goal.
Let's go! Let's go! Sports go! Sports go! Sports go! Go! Yeah! Go! Wow! Sports go!
Get activated.
Now at the Joe Robbie Stadium, Foster's Cup action continues. Whistle on play, centre half forward for Geelong. It's going to be a free kick to be taken by Christian. Out to centre wing, Yates goes for the spoil. Flanagan over the top, intercepting is Starcevic. Bairstow almost got one in the back. Loose ball falls Hamilton's way. He's been fairly quiet so far, the lad that kicked 7 goals against the Swans. Linda's kick into the wide open spaces on centre wing and picked up by White. Drives Geelong forward, shoots at goal, and Gayfer gets a hand to it, one behind. Or is it a free kick? It might be a free kick, I think, Malcolm.
Yes, good.
And it will be taken by Michael Gayfer.
Gayfer, very desperate then, kicks the ball in over the head of all players. Christian recovers again very well. Very good on the ground and uses the ball intelligently to Manson. Manson in towards the centre of the ground to kick off the side. Linda playing that loose man in defence stops the Collingwood attack. So Linda kicks the ball in short, almost Troy on the second attempt. A great handball from Ward on the ground. Mullane,
what a tackle.
Fantastic stuff then from Bruce Linda as Starcevic tried to crash through. And the penalties tonight, and that could have been one, are 25 metres. As we look at this again, the elbow came up and Linda did well to hold his ground. And now with a better kick, a drop punt this time as his teammates call for. The ball out towards centre half forward Tony Shaw with the support of Kerrison. Kerrison taps it on. Get in underneath with Shane Hamilton, the youngster. Once again, Taylor does well to spoil both Schulz and Linda. Schulz recovers. Linda quick. Back, Morwood at the back, also playing a loose man. Both men being very damaging, the loose players across the half-back line. Gates caught with the ball. The ball falls free. Out to Dacos. Gets clear. By himself is Starcevic. Starcevic probably from about 40 to 45 metres out. Now lets to go short. And there is Gavin Brown. So Brown also from about 40 metres out has a chance to post Collingwood's 7th goal. So Collingwood doing most of the attacking this quarter. Just over 14 minutes to go. And Gavin Brown goes long. Kick off the side, just 1 point. So first score to Gavin Brown. And in fact, Collingwood this quarter have kicked 1 goal for. Geelong yet to score. Coach Lee Matthews looking on and Bruce Linda doing the kicking out. Next to come near his side. Ryan jumped early and could have infringed. Mullane in his bustling style, off the ground and out of bounds. Centre wing, 45 metres from the Collingwood goal.
Boundary throw in. Geelong need to score. Denham off the ground but not very far. Hand pass out to Stoneham. In turn on to Bairstow. Looking for Brownless. Could almost been a free kick. Morwood was in front. Brownless scoops it out to Turner. Hand pass should be a score. And putting it through for the catch is Russell.
Spot said we better duck for cover because the missus wanted some new colour. But that was okay because Mitre 10's big price cut specials had saved the day. Yep, $6 off every 4-litre can of Dulux Weather Shield Gloss. Not $33.95, $27.95. Save another $6 on every 4 litres of Dulux Wash and Wear Flat. Not $31.95, $25.95.
How about that, eh, Spot?
Yeah, Mitre 10's got the flaming lot.
Mitre 10. You need it, they've got it.
Russell's first goal and in fact his first kick. Holding the ball, says umpire Peter Carey. Tony Shaw, the recipient of the free kick at centre field. Shaw down to left half forward flank. Starcevic was the flyer. Ryan in everything so far for Collingwood. Good hip and shoulder from Linda it was. And the ball being carried forward by the Magpies. Shaw gets boot the ball. It's a mile in the air. We can say that here because they're not in metrics.
Actually, it's terrific. All the people go towards the ball. All the Americans love the shape of our ball, I think.
It's similar to theirs, not as pointy at the ends. It's a mark taken by Cameron, adjacent to the circle. Backing back, Morwood. Almost a mark at Gaper, and then has the presence of mind to knock it to the boundary line. It'll be a throw in right next to the behind post. Chance for the Cats. They've only scored 1 goal this quarter, but still well within striking distance. Collingwood has been doing all the attacking. Gaper gets it around Denham. Is it out of bounds? No, says the umpire. It might be now. It was. Bad luck to Geelong as Bairstow took the kick. He was right on the line. So a boundary throw-in, we'll call it right forward pocket. Fellows has the height against Russell. and comes out with the free kick. I think that was pretty obvious. Wes Fellows, left back pocket, gets height and distance with the kick. Stoneham at the back, good spoil. Sean Denham, he runs into one of his teammates, gets it out to Linda, probably Geelong's best player at the moment. Brownless was damaging in the first quarter. Fellows' height a telling factor in that duel. Burke in front, Pack spread eagle. Now Bairstow, high, not too long. Russell was the flyer. Down goes Brown. And a real stack up. The umpire has found a free kick. And it will be going probably to the last man to get up. It's going to Brown. Just up from the back pocket. He's gone for a short pass, and that's effective to Mick McGuan.
McGuan over to Dacos. Dacos in a bit of space. Elects to go along with a long torpedo. Taylor up early. Schultz does the spalling. Off the ground from Linda. Yates with pace. Kicks it out in front of White. White with a few yards. Kicks over his shoulder, and Dwayne Russell's there. So Russell back. And if we take a line through the first quarter, Dacos kicked an excellent goal from here. So Dwayne Russell close to the boundary line as we watch that in replay.
He's within kicking distance, although he's centre wing virtually.
As we watch the kick from behind the goals. Oh yes, I think that's there. Great kick.
In today's luxury car market, there is one car that proudly sits among this select group of prestige imports. A car with the same power and performance, the same luxury features, the same space. But it's a car that for warranty and sheer value stands alone. The superb 3-litre fuel-injected Mazda 929 V6i luxury saloon. You'll find the exceptional Mazda 929 V6i at your Mazda dealer right now.
White's kick up towards half forward. Turner, the opportunist. A hurried hand pass. Russell's there again. Nearly collects Morwood, but Morwood comes out with the ball importantly for Collingwood. Ryan at left centre wing. And a beautiful pass. Hits Brian Taylor right on the chest. Now Taylor within scoring distance. Actually a similar position to what Russell was at the other end of the ground. So should get the distance, and does. Goal umpire likes it. It's a goal. Collingwood 7th.
Brian Taylor's first goal. After Geelong had hit the front for the first time for some time, Collingwood get that goal, 7-5 to 6-6. As Robert Scott comes back onto the ground. Tony Shaw also going off, the Collingwood skipper.
Let's take a look at the kick of Taylor. His first goal. As we come back into the centre, Denham's kick only travels a metre or so. Off the ground, that was from Darcy into wide open spaces. Morwood gathers well and is well shepherded. Good tackle, Cameron. And it's going to be a bounce between right centre wing and right half forward flank for Geelong. Close to half time. We've got about 7.5 minutes remaining. Defence is well on top in this quarter. Collingwood's defence has certainly tightened up, allowing Geelong only 2 goals. Russell has kicked them. He started the first quarter on the bench. Fellows. Kerrison. Over the head of Cameron. Brown to Ryan, who was not quick enough to take it. And the throw in on centre wing. Ryan, a most damaging player, though, in the opening quarter, in which he got 2 goals. Fellows over the top. Cameron, but slow to get boot to ball, wobbles it up to full forward. Brownless, who's been well held by Gaper in this term. White's chance, can he keep it in play? Oh, well done. But it was only rushed through from behind.
I'm sure I heard the crowd scream and they thought it was a goal.
I think that would be the loudest cheer ever for a rush behind. So Geelong to 6-7. Collingwood 7-5. The mark taken by Fellows.
Fellows onto the left foot, straight at goal. Taylor works his way to the front and judges it better than all. So Brian Taylor on a much kinder angle than the last goal he just kicked. as it comes. The goal umpire has a good look. Everyone behind the goal's pretty happy. Yes. Second goal to Brian Taylor.
Taylor's 2 goals coming up in this quarter, and in fact in the last 4 minutes. And Taylor's starting to strike a bit of form up there.
There's what was excellently read as we look from behind the goals, and as the ball swings back with the breeze. Well judged kick. Back in the centre of the ground. Fellows with the left hand. White with the quick kick. Out wide to Brown. Brown again goes direct. Linder up high. Drops probably what he should have taken. The ball falls loose to Mullane. Mullane to Starcevic, who falls over. Linder's recovered from the initial blue. Kicks the ball back in the centre of the ground. Hawke under pressure from Denham does it very well. And then misses with the handball. Sets up Darcy. Darcy back inside. Now sets up Scott, who originally gave it to him. But the ball falls too far for Robert Scott. And really, I suppose, a chance for Geelong goes begging.
We asked the question, why didn't he have a shot, I suppose, after something like that happens. It's in Geelong's right forward pocket, importantly. They trailed by 10 points. Not Scott, it was
Dwayne Russell.
Russell, who came on in this quarter. But Moore was there to do the tidying up work. It was almost out of bounds. Dacos. Over it goes to Brown. To Saunders on the ground for the first time. There are plenty of Geelong jerseys there. Who's going to take it? Schultz, ultimately. And they almost made a mess up of that one. Mullane, grab. Did he have it? He's got it now. Stoneham to Schultz. Oh, strong grab taken by Starcevic.
Yeah, it really was some very, very bad talking then. Both Schultz and Troy got themselves tangled up. As we look back, and probably one of the marks of the night so far, as Starcevic just edges out Yates. What should be, oh, it's kicked it badly. And a point only to Collingwood and Craig Starcevic.
And the crowd hooting.
Yeah, it really was just a mix-up then of defenders. One at the ball, and they both decided to shepherd for each other and really kept the ball in the Collingwood forward line. So Bruce Linder kicks in again, this time with another wobbly torpedo. And I'm sure his teammates down the ground wouldn't be all that wrapped with some of those kicks. Dacos comes over the ball, kicks out wide to McGuan. McGuan settling play down again, looking for Taylor, comes in his direction. Linder from behind jumps early, drops a chest mark, and the players stack on top of the ball. And umpire Peter Kerry calls for a bounce 25 metres from the Collingwood goal. Dennis Banks sitting on and watching on. Flanagan should tap this out wide to Bairstow. Tap was the way. He really did try and thump it too hard. Bairstow's then under pressure and the ball falls with Gavin Brown. Brown inside to Dacos. Has players wide. He wants to use them. He is now. Sean Denham did well by running at the player. The ball goes up forward. Oh, back of players. Dwayne Russell hits the ground hard. Scott only has to sit on it. Oh, son, kick it in. First thought's always the best thought. And then all the Geelong players leave him as Collingwood put some tremendous pressure on. And really the ball, also what should have been for Geelong, isn't.
Yes, well, not too many players came in to help Scott as we've got a bit of a wrestle on down there. They were waiting for the hand pass and no one came in to help him. And Tim Darcy a little bit upset with the treatment meted out. It's going to be a bounce, half forward for Geelong. 2 minutes left in the quarter. And therefore 2 minutes left in the half. Fellows bumps it some 25 metres. Stoneham and Russell. Denham up the full forward. Gaither playing in front of Brown as he's taken him right out of the game. Brown. And there's Russell again. Well, he looks perhaps a little bit overweight. He's got real bike rider's legs, but he's lifted Geelong's forward line.
Dwayne Russell in form would kick this.
He's on centre wing. Let's see what he can do with it. And Fellows has the height and the position to get the mark, and Brown just decides to go on with it. Crowd loved it. I don't think the umpire did. Billy Brown is becoming just a little bit frustrated. Morwood. Morwood at left half-back flank, short pass, Christian. McGuan. Short again. Well, it's been the difference this quarter. Collingwood's had a good forward in Brian Taylor, and Brownless has gone out of the game. Good lead and mark, and Brian Taylor always looks a much better player when he moves around on the forward line. And that one, I think, a trifle off target, one behind to the Magpies. 8-7 to 6-7, so an even 2 goals.
David Cameron there, I think, would have turned an ankle by the look of it.
So the Geelong trainers come out to remedy the situation. Yes, he doesn't look too good. Linda, close to half-time, less than half a minute, thumped down by Fellows. Will we see another score? Darren Troy's kick is a high one. 2 Collingwood players are there. Christian takes it, second grab.
Yes, that was the difference though, Peter. They both talked. At least they knew what was going on then, and gave Christian the confidence to come back into it.
Saunders takes the mark as the siren sounds for half-time. A good quarter for Collingwood. They came back after it was pretty well tied up at quarter-time. 8-7-55. The Magpies leading the Cats in the Foster's Cup. 6-7-43 at the Joe Robbie Stadium. Well, as I said just before the siren sounded, Malcolm, Brownless was taken right out of the game, and Collingwood had a good target up forward in Brian Taylor, and it was indicated on the scoreboard, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Yeah, Brownless actually wasn't helped. Wes Fellows was dropping back and took a couple of very strong marks back there. And as you said, Collingwood through the middle really did start to create some run. Mullane got touches, so did Dacos. And they just started chipping the ball towards Taylor, and Taylor is very, very honest in front. As we watch David Cameron there, he looks in a bit of trouble. I would suggest it's probably an ankle by the way he's not putting any weight on it. But it's been an entertaining game. 12 points in it at half-time, in what I suppose you could have said that Geelong's first quarter had more play, and certainly that quarter Collingwood were the better side, and certainly showed that on the scoreboard.
Scores at half-time at the Joe Robbie Stadium in Miami. 8-7-55. Collingwood, Geelong 6-7-43. With that ankle, and that's a bit of a shame for the Cats. They trail at the moment as we go into the third quarter, 6-7 to 8-7. Foster's Cup action from Miami. And Craig Kelly, I see, on the field for Collingwood for the first time. Cleared during the week from Norwood. Chance for the Cats. Beautiful smother, though, by Dacos. Stoneham to Yates. Cloud of dust as Mick McGuan takes the mark. McGuan up towards the square. And Barry Stoneham on the end of a hand pass. And up towards centre wing, Turner and Mullane. Darcy almost out of bounds. Looks for and finds Denham. Back to Turner. Linda. Oh, the ball must have been further from him than I thought, because he didn't make any real inroads in trying to pick it up.
He's now playing on the forward line too, Peter.
Perhaps a little bit of a luxury in defence. His kicking in wasn't exactly brilliant. Scott takes the ball. It's going to be a free kick, though, to Damien Burke. And we'll call him at right centre wing. Oh! Up goes McGuan and gets KO'd. Oh, it's Jamie Turner, rather. Turner looks very groggy. There's McGuan. Jamie Turner still looking very, very ordinary. Gafer, who did a great job on Brownless in the second quarter. Up towards Cloak. Got the front position. Starcevic almost over the boundary line. Back it comes to Cloak. Ryan fumbles. He doesn't do that very often. That was almost out of bounds on the full. The boundary umpire has seen it. It's going to be a Collingwood free kick or Geelong. McCrabb to take it for the Cats. And Jamie Turner will feel that one for a while, I would reckon, as we come back live and the Cats get driven forward. Up towards half forward. That was from White and Scott. Or from Exel, rather. Chance for the Cats to put a goal on the board. One of the real tricky parts of this ground to score was the swirling breeze. Scott about 35 metres out, no more. And what's he done? One behind. So the Cats open the scoring in the third quarter, 6-8 to 8-7.
Kerrison trying to retrieve the ball from some very enthusiastic, what do you call them, Floridans, Peter?
Floridians.
Floridians. So Shane Kerrison.
You could probably call them something else, actually.
Goes. Flicks to go long. Brownless underneath the ball and marks. So Billy Brownless too tall then for Tony Shaw as the ball just dropped a little bit. Now Brownless, one of the longest kicks in VFL football. He'd need to be from there. It's an excellent kick, right to the teeth of the goals, and just off hands and through for a minor score. So another point to Geelong. Geelong 6 goals 9, 6 kicks and 4 marks to Bill Brownless as Kerrison again kicks in towards Brownless again, and thank you very much. They call that 6 kicks and 5 marks to Billy Brownless, and in fact there's his 7th kick now. He once again goes long. Only Scott and Kerrison there, and once again Kerrison punches the ball through and then tells his teammate Shane Morwood to have a kick. So Shane Morwood this time goes short in the McGuan direction. McGuan picks up cleanly, plays on, out in Matthew Ryan, found some space, should go over to Shaw, he does. Look out, Shaw's under pressure, finds Starcevic. Starcevic from 20 metres out, shoots a goal, all clear for Collingwood.
In today's luxury car market, there is one car that proudly sits among this select group of prestige imports. A car with the same power and performance, the same luxury features, the same space. But it's a car that for warranty and sheer value stands alone. The superb 3-litre fuel-injected Mazda 929 V6i luxury saloon. You'll find the exceptional Mazda 929 V6i at your Mazda dealer right now.
Craig Starcevic's first goal, 9-7 now to 6-10 at the Joe Robbie Stadium in Miami. Burke in the ruck for Geelong. The Cats need a score here. The 2 number 30s contested. Manson the other. Out it comes to Brown. Down to full forward, Taylor and Flanagan. Float. Snapshot by the big fellow is off target, out of bounds on the full. And it will be a free kick to Darren Flanagan, adjacent to the behind post.
Peter, fitness is going to play a part.
Just thinking that.
You know, that it's very warm conditions and they've come a long, long way.
Very steamy, temperature still in the 70s. Burke, Stoneham, a hurried hand pass. Geelong go forward through White, and Russell, who's made his presence felt since he came on in the second quarter. Now, is he going to get a penalty?
Dwayne Russell and Craig Kelly would know each other, of course, having played football against each other.
It's Kelly standing the mark, I think.
4 kicks and 2 marks to Dwayne Russell.
Yeah, since the second quarter. Very solid lump of a lad is Dwayne Russell. And Russell, of course, has kicked 2 goals, both in the second quarter. Mammoth kick. It is a score, only a minor one. So Geelong take their total now to 6-11, 47. Collingwood 9-7, 61. Kerrison does the kicking in. Up the centre wing, Manson should have marked it. Bairstow with Starcevic. Yates tried the Shepherd. And a nice divot taken out of the ground there. Looks very similar to a tee after one of my golf shots. McCrabb onto Bairstow over the head of Tony Shaw. Yates lobs it high up towards centre field again. Geelong players not really talking again. And umpire Brian Sheen is going to bounce it, is he? That'll be a 25-metre penalty, our first for the night. I said 25 because on this ground a 50-metre penalty would be a gimme. And there he is, his first kick, Kelly. He'll remember that. Or perhaps he'd like to forget it. Didn't really go very far. White, Turner, on the end of his own spoil. Good hip and shoulder by Morwood. Off the ground from Malone. It's out of bounds, adjacent to the Collingwood bench.
Yes, excellent recovery then from Darren Malone, who was in the marking contest and then followed up very, very quickly indeed. So, on the true wing position, Dacos with the ball, feeds it out to Malone. Malone with time, kicks forward. Taylor from behind, well fisted away from flat by Flanagan. Bairstow, clever, to Yates. Yates back in towards the centre of the circle. Exel can't mark. Russell ducks his head, follows up, and great pack of players then. Collingwood are called to play on, and Dacos is the player with it and feeds the pass brilliantly to Taylor. And Brian Taylor with great kicking skills, and this appears to be the easier side to come in and kick goals from. And really, Brian Taylor should score from here. Lines him up. Goal umpire says all clear.
Unmistakable aroma of Robert Timms, from the house of Robert Timms, the home of fresh coffee.
Collingwood again go forward. Taylor hit on the chest. Starcevic looks for the free kick. Ryan. Geelong defending desperately. Ryan looks for the boundary line. Not Ryan, his Geelong opponent did in McCrabb, and finds it. So Collingwood with the biggest lead enjoyed so far tonight by either team, a margin of 20 points in the Magpies' favour. It's a boundary throw in. Collingwood's right forward pocket, or left forward pocket. Brown to Shaw, back to Ryan. Snapshot. Taylor likes it. Goal umpire didn't. Only one behind. So 10-8 now, 68. 6-11, 47 Geelong.
Geelong with Flanagan playing at full back now, and Dwayne Russell at centre half forward, and Damien Burke on the ball. So Flanagan's got the job on Taylor, and is looking now at his options. Ends up going out wide in the Stoneham direction. Pack of players in underneath that ball, and umpire Brian Sheehan calls for a bounce. So right on the point of the square again, some 45, 50 metres from the Collingwood goal. It's an awkward bounce. Cloak after it. Turner with the quick kick out of the pack. Taylor in front, grabbed far too high, and the free kick to Brian Taylor.
It's a very poor tackle, and Taylor the opportunity to get his fourth goal. So Geelong, after quarter time, have really struggled up forward. They've only kicked 2 goals since then. Collingwood has kicked 5. 7 kicks, 5 marks to Brian Taylor from 40 metres out on an angle. Looks good. Taylor's fourth goal.
An interesting move putting Darren Flanagan at full-back. Brian Taylor's led him to the ball a couple of times, and I suppose Darren Flanagan, it's a good opportunity as we look at Taylor, as Yates really did get him over the shoulder, and the resultant free kick, and the goal umpire did not move one muscle bar look backwards over his head. So back in the centre of the ground, Bairstow with a quick kick forward, out in the Linda direction, being chased by Morwood. Linda goes to ground, for what reason, I don't know. Turner gets it and then handballs it back over his head out of bounds on the full. I mean, Bruce Linda really should try and keep his feet in those situations and try and force the Collingwood player to give him a free. I mean, on the ground you don't get one. So throw in, Manson, out wide, Bairstow, it's McCrabb, and McCrabb goes to the boundary line again. So Geelong under a bit of pressure here from Collingwood.
Yes, they have been since quarter time, really. Magpies doing most of the scoring. Boundary throw in, Exel, Burke, McCrabb with the knock on. Kerrison's there to do the tidying up for Collingwood. Denham upsets his thought as he boots the ball towards centre wing. Cloak making good use of the body, sees the ball safely over the line. Hardly seen from VFL Park in midwinter. It's going to be Burke and Cloak. Cloak wins it. Can't knock it very far. McCrabb and Ryan. Brown is there. Hustles out a hand pass pretty quickly. Ball very close to
a focal point in the second and in the third quarters. As he kicks the ball, and you'll see it just graze the post. In fact, it hit the flags. He's pretty stiff. So the ball's out wide from the kick in. Scott can't control it, so therefore it'll be a free kick to Collingwood. McGuan takes it quickly. Starcevic is swamped. Flanagan's clear. Now Bairstow can set up Geelong. Goes long towards centre half forward. Russell does well to bring it down to Taylor. Under pressure again, he goes very, very wide out in the Scott direction, but the ball beats Scott over the line for a boundary throw in.
It's on centre wing. Michael Turner just not able to control the kick. Hasn't been his busiest night. Over the head of Kelly. Dacos, who had a quiet first term. McGuan started on the bench in the opening term. He's done well since he came on. Ryan upsets McCrabb. Lindner. Oh, beautiful tackle, and he's been penalised for holding the ball, I would think. Good tackle, Brian Taylor, who has kicked 4 goals. Did you say 4-4? Was it 4-4 you had for Taylor? Yeah. And Taylor would almost be within kicking distance. Started quietly, but when he began to fire in the second term, so too did Collingwood. There was only a point the difference at the first change, but 2 goals at half-time, and Collingwood have been able to go on with it in the third quarter. One behind, I would think, from that shot. It is 11-10 to 6-11. Geelong not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Linda. Straight down the ground. Colin Davey would be, or Dennis Davey rather, would be looking for some quick scoring to get the Cats back into business. Kelly's kick taken by McGuan. Taylor again. Oh! Bounced right off his chest. Now the umpire's found a free kick going Geelong's way.
Tony, don't tell me if he gets that far.
I think I heard Lee Matthews saying a few words in the background there. Linda. White at centre wing. Brownless the target. Knocked away from him. Scott on the bottom. Brownless comes in to help him. But it's going to be a bounce at centre half forward for Geelong with under 8 minutes remaining in the third quarter.
McGuan's a player doing a lot of damage. He's staying out wide on this wing, Peter, and quite often Collingwood are going through him. And Brown as well. They really do run wide using that space.
And there's Brown. Left half-back flank. The kick high and long. Huge pack of players down there. Breaking out is Flanagan. Up the centre wing. Well, Kerrison was grabbed by Scott. Still came out with the ball. And the Collingwood redhead down towards Taylor. Didn't judge it too well. Now steps back and goals. That's number 5.
This week at Myer, the presses are running hot with a whole catalogue bursting with fantastic savings. Van Heusen and Dano business shirts are making headlines at only $27.99. Sundresses are stopping them in the streets at an incredible $15. At 30% off, Goldcrest bags are the talk of the town. And Playtex Cross Your Heart bras are hot news at 3 for the price of 2. Feast your eyes on these and more great savings in the big new Myer catalogue. It's the hottest savings news in town.
Well, Brian Taylor's 5th goal, and Malcolm said during the break he tried to boot it into the Everglades. Well, it might be a little hard to do from here, but Taylor has been the catalyst insofar as Collingwood's concerned. A good display at full forward. The Magpies lead 12-10 to 6-11 at the Joe Robbie Stadium.
Out of the centre, Brown in quickly again. The quick kick forward. Linda being pushed back into defence again as loose man. Kicks on the back foot, so therefore slides off the boot. Turner almost. Throws out the ball. Denham goes to the top instead of trying to get underneath Manson. Falls to Dacos. Dacos onto Tony Shaw. Shaw out in the Taylor direction. Flanagan punches. Schultz off the ground, and once again there's loose man in Bruce Linda, and really should set something up now for the Cats. In trouble. Play on. Handball misses McCrabb. Goes behind him. He tries to keep the ball in front, but Dacos is clever. Kerrison comes in to support, then goes for the boundary line, follows up his own play, and with great play, Kerrison kicks the ball forward and unfortunately just lands inside, or fortunately for Shane Kerrison, just lands inside the boundary line. And Dennis Davey, I know you feel, I think. So, boundary throw in, the forward pocket for Collingwood. Burke and Cloak, over the top with Schultz, down to Banks. Banks sidestepped twice, then gets tripped up. So Dennis Banks will have a shot from 20 metres, 25 metres out, directly in front. And really it's starting to get a bit beyond Geelong at the moment.
Yes. Banks has spent the last quarter and a bit on the bench, it would seem. I think he opened at half-back flank or thereabouts. Directly in front of goal. And has booted it. Collingwood's 13th.
Yes, Peter, the Collingwood small players are really taking the packet. As we look at this in replay, he dodges the second one. And really it was probably a half a tangle of legs, but accidents do count. I was saying that the small players and those players around the ball are really reading the ball off hands a lot better. Dacos and Mullane have been clever, and McGuan and Brown have sent them into attack many, many times.
Yes, McGuan's been very good since he came on. 4.25 minutes left in the third quarter, 88 now to 47. Geelong scored 4-6 in the opening term. They'll need to get a rattle on at that pace if they're to stay in this match. The winners, of course, play in Toronto next weekend. Now a chance for Scott. Geelong really need one here. That'll be close, but through for only one behind. The Cats 6-12. So a difference of 40 points.
Robert Scott's had 3 shots at goal, 3 points. And as Kerrison kicks in short, Gaper's on his own, runs around Brownless, then goes short again. And this is where Collingwood have been very good. They've been chipping the ball around. McGuan again. He goes back into the centre. Oh no, young fellow. Guard him up. As Morwood's impeded, now plays on. Runs around far too easily. Quick handball into Brown. Back to Morwood. Morwood with a run through to Ryan. Ryan misses it off his chest. Scott in underneath. He's smothered. Back to Ryan. Ryan on the left foot. Shoots a goal. 1 point.
13-11. 89 to 48.
And Lee Matthews continues to work his side. Austin McCrabb takes the short kick-off.
Well, it's like doing the commentary in the coach's box at Footscray, Malcolm. The visiting coaches always make plenty of noise. I'd like you to make note of that for next year. We can hear every word you say. Stoneham goes long to centre wing. The Cats really needing a score now before three-quarter time. Let's see if Scott can make amends. Is that 4 behind he's kicked? It is. So he's one of the culprits. 6-13. 49 to 89. The Cats wasting opportunities, of course, when they kicked at this end in the first quarter. As I said, they kicked 4-6. This is Morwood. Now to centre wing and David Cloak. Now he plays on with that familiar kicking style. Long to Taylor. Gets the ride and the mark. Too good for Flanagan.
Yes, in fact, they really are causing some problems up forwards. We looked this excellent mark. He just jumped that shade early and used Flanagan. And Flanagan, I suppose, not really a true fullback, and really had himself to be there to be jumped upon. And Brian Taylor now for goal number 6.
And that's close, but it's good.
Romantic.
Gotcha.
Sociable. Intellectual.
Gotcha.
Shy.
Gotcha.
Cool.
Gotcha.
Talkative.
Gotcha, gotcha in the mood.
Post. Tim Darcy, of course, has played fullback on many occasions. Matthew Ryan at the moment in the hands of the trainers on the bench. Dacos out to Cloak on centre wing. Cloak lumbers after it. Schultz is there with him. Banks makes some space. Goes the wrong way. Hooks it back across his body and finds McGuan.
Yes,
McGuan, sorry, Malcolm.
Yeah, been a good play. Geelong have only had 3 goal kickers, and I think that's the difference, where Collingwood have had 7. And
one of those is off the ground, Cameron.
Yeah, that's right.
McGuan from half forward, directly in front. And has threaded it. McGuan putting through his first. And Collingwood supporters here making more noise than some of them at Victoria Park when they get beaten. But they're liking the game.
Yes, well, I suppose this. We watched that in replay. Michael McGuan being the 8th goal kicker for Collingwood. Geelong only having 4. And there, in fact, is the siren before he actually bounced the ball.
So at 3/4 time, the Magpies enjoying a pretty handy lead. Ryan with the ice pack on the neck, obviously in a good deal of discomfort at the moment. Let's check the 3/4 time scores. It's Collingwood 14-11, 95, I have it, to Geelong 6-13, 49.
It starts tonight at 8:30 from the makers of The Challenge, a thrilling new Australian miniseries on 7, The Rainbow Warrior Conspiracy. Jack Thompson and Brad Davis star in a story of power, betrayal and murder, an elaborate web of intrigue and lies, the scandal that shocked a nation and threatened to bring down the French government. This is a true story that must be told. The Rainbow Warrior Conspiracy. Compulsive viewing over 2 nights, starting tonight on 7.
Take a scoop of country sunshine from the golden fields of wheat. Add some sesame for flavor and we'll bake a country treat. Oh, give us a bit of that old country split.
Please, Mum, give us a bit of that Oz Country Split.
Oz Country Split by Buttercup. Lovely and soft inside, sesame seed outside.
Oh, give us a bit of that old country split.
Oz Country Split. It's the best tasting bread in the country.
Advisors, attention!
If you haven't had time to order your 4 weeks free trial of Australia's business newspaper, here's the telephone number again. Ring now. Have the Financial Review delivered to your home or office first thing every morning for 4 weeks, absolutely free. Be first with the business news and all the important business information to keep you a step ahead. Call now and order your 4 weeks free trial of the Australian Financial Review. There's money in it. In fact, it could be worth zillions.
Why did we make Hyundai toughest in its class?
You always hurt for one you love, for one.
You shouldn't have to treat your car with kid gloves.
You always break the kindest heart with a hate.
Hyundai, cars that make sense.
It's because I love you most of all.
I love how your hair shines whenever you're near me.
My wife's more beautiful now than when I met her.
Love how your hair shines.
It's something that comes from within.
So shiny and healthy.
Palmolive shampoo. No fancy ingredients. It's just so gentle, it coaxes your hair back into condition.
I love how her hair shines in the light.
Palmolive shampoo and conditioner.
I love how your hair shines.
The Australian Furniture Thoroughbred sales are now on at all Fussy Furniture Fella outlets. You'll find the finest thoroughbreds in the land being sold to the best bidder. Thoroughbreds such as this pure Australian leather lounge suite by Matthews and this majestic mahogany bedroom suite by Eastgate. Just make a reasonable offer. Everything must go. Don't miss this chance to win a Spring Carnival hamper. The Australian Furniture Thoroughbred sales at the Fussy Furniture Fella, East Keilor, Thomastown, Mitcham and the new Clayton store.
Well, an excellent quarter by Collingwood, 15-11, 101. The score at 3/4 time to Geelong, 6-13, 49. The Cats remaining goalless in that quarter, and Collingwood piled on 7 goals for. Brian Taylor has 6 goals, Dacos 2, and Ryan 2. Bill Brownless is Geelong's major goal kicker. He has 3 goals, and he got all those in the first quarter. Well, Dennis Davey obviously has his problems. Malcolm, what moves would you be making were you in his position now?
Well, we heard Dennis before talking about players getting in underneath the packs and trying to do something either creative or keep the ball in. And it really has been the Collingwood smaller running players that have set that up for them. They've been able to get clear and use the ball to advantage. Geelong really haven't had those players in underneath the packs often enough to give the forwards enough opportunities. I think that's depicted when you look at that quarter. Collingwood kicked 7 goals 4 to Geelong 6 points. They've also been Australia, I guess, a little bit up forward, Geelong, but they just haven't had that cohesion that the Collingwood side has had when they've been able to obtain possession.
So the Cats facing a deficit of 52 points as players take up their positions for the final quarter of this Foster's Cup match. Coming to you on the Australian Television Network from the Joe Robbie Stadium just out of Miami in Florida. Hogues in the crowd, or a cardboard cutout thereof.
I'm sure he's being offered a Foster's, Peter, isn't he?
Wouldn't mind one up here, actually. It's good weather for it here. Final quarter about to get underway. Geelong not out of it on this very small ground, but they need to get a couple of goals on the board rather quickly. Last quarter of the Foster's Cup match, Joe Robbie Stadium in Miami. Collingwood leading by 52 points after a brilliant third quarter in which Brian Taylor was the star. Fellows down to Denham. Umpire Sheehan will bounce it again.
Austin McCrabb now on Brian Taylor, who was at his 4th opponent for the night.
Taylor proving a very difficult customer. McCrabb a good defender, but does he have the height? Good tackle by Turner on Turner. I think Jamie Turner was the winner, but the umpire said it was a stalemate. It's Flanagan. Tangles with Fellows. Brown to Morwood. Ball slews off the side of the boot. Now towards centre wing, and a good mark for Geelong taken by Bruce Linder. And let's see if he can get Geelong moving. Linder from right centre wing. Goes for the centering kick, either by accident or design. Almost a mark to Russell, but the umpire says play on. McGuan does just that for Collingwood. Good smother by Flanagan. Groundless. Back to Scott. Geelong with a little bit more endeavour. Morwood too tall. Looks for Mullane. Well, it would have been a free kick had he got him, but the idea was good. Tony Shaw is just up from left centre wing. And Shaw obviously fancies himself to kick it. 8 kicks and 3 marks to the Collingwood skipper. Big pack, centre of which was David Cloak, Saunders and Darcy. Saunders comes out with the ball, hooks it across his body and out of bounds, and it's going to be a free kick to Geelong in the right back pocket. And who's got it down there? It's White. Spiral punt kick. Up towards centre field, Paul Hawke. Good tackle, Scott. Good endeavour. Fellows. Good tackle, Schultz. Out comes Banks. Hawke. Over the top to McGuan. To Saunders, and a goal could be coming up, but a good tackle again from Flanagan sees the ball out of bounds.
Darren Flanagan putting some pressure on Saunders and now goes back for the ruck work with David Cloak. Hangs on. Scott was in the right spot for the little tap down, and Morwood very, very good at centre half back. Plays on immediately. No guarding of the mark. The ball not really bouncing as high. Shaw able to pick it up. Back in towards the centre. Kerrison caught. Denham, very slick handball to Darcy. Darcy breaks clear. Goes long. Brownless and Gafer, plenty of holding on. The ball favours Gafer, and he goes for the safety of the boundary line. And out of bounds, and the boundary umpire for the first time has had to make a lot of yards on this shortened version of Australian rules football in America for the first time. Peter Dacos looking on.
From the mainland for the first time. Don't forget Geelong and Melbourne.
Yes. Stadium over the top. Tries to create. Quick kick forward. Brownless must. Oh, great mark. And it's really landed very, very heavily. But like most players in that situation, Peter, Always seem to get up to have a kick, and why not? Was a good mark. With some intelligent ruck work from Stonen.
Just about the mark of the night, I think.
An excellent mark. And 8 kicks and 6 marks. Can this be his 4th goal? Kicks through the ball. Yes, it is.
Let's go!
Let's go! Sportsco!
Spring into Sportsco for Puma all-purpose tennis shoes at only $79.
Sportsco!
Or Spalding basketball slam dunk down to a winning $19.99.
Sportsco!
And Adidas TRX competition running shoes at a record low $69.
Go! Yeah! Go! Wow! Sportsco!
Get activated.
That was Brownless's 4th goal, Geelong 7th, a good way to start the last quarter. We've got 20.5 minutes remaining in the game. Flanagan knocks it down to Turner, and the catch through Scott will get forward again. Survival of the fittest. Brownless again. But Kerrison's down there, goes for the boundary line. Hawke and Turner. Mullane does find some space. Beautifully played from Darren Mullane. Spears the pass into McGuan. McGuan to Shaw. Inside the square. Down to left half forward flank from the Collingwood captain. Ball hits the deck again. Saunders. A bad pass. McCrabb chips in to take the mark.
McCrabb onto the left foot, goes out wide. One-on-one contest. Excellent mark from McGuan, who's been an excellent player in this second half. Goes in short to Banks. Now Banks from 40 metres, 45 metres out. Settles it down. He really can't kick to the goal square. Now David Cloak drops back. Kick short. Loose checking from Geelong, and Saunders marks almost unattended. So Saunders, 30 metres out. Really should have no trouble at all kicking the distance. And Darren Saunders, stuttery approach. And the kick fades off to the right. 1 point only. So Collingwood first score for the quarter, 15-12. Leading Geelong 7 goals 13. McCrabb kicks out wide to the Linda direction, takes the mark on his chest, plays on the left foot, chips the pass, but really was too far for Dwayne Russell, and the ball spilled over the line by Turner.
I guess I'm surprised a few players haven't opted for the Bruce Doull style headbands in weather like this. I say Bruce Lindner has a little towel in his pocket to wipe away perspiration. Brown goes in solidly. Umpire Sheehan's going to bounce it just off the edge of the square. Flanagan and Fellows down to Alderdice. Oh, good ground made by Paul Hawke. Haven't seen too much of him tonight. Spent a bit of time on the bench. Hamilton chips in beautifully at centre field. Well, he had a dream second game, I think it was, against the Sydney Swans when he booted for 7 goals up there at the SCG. Hasn't been able to get into the action tonight. And the umpire's paid a mark here.
Bill Brownless.
Yeah. Well, a few players I thought had their hands on that, but the umpire was definite in his thoughts. And Brownless directly in front of goal will shoot for goal number 5. I have it. Does he kick 4, Malcolm?
Yes, indeed.
Bill Brownless directly in front. That looks pretty good. Goal number 5.
White Horse Motors has a new $2 million service centre at Blackburn with perhaps the most modern facilities in Victoria. If you're a mechanic with current Jaguar or Range Rover experience and would like to earn up to $525 a week, contact White Horse Motors now.
Enter Lewis Carroll's enchanted world of laughter, music and magic. The original animated classic, Alice in Wonderland.
Can you stand on your head?
Was that a cat? 6:30 tonight, followed by Alf on 7.
At the Joe Robbie Stadium, the Cats have got the first 2 goals in the last quarter. They're still trailed by 41 points. We've got 16 and a bit minutes remaining in the game. Fellows, Cloak, into the open spaces at right half forward. Schultz going in solidly. Banks and Linda. The latter keeps it in play. Shaw, beautiful hand pass. Saunders, he looks for Taylor and finds him.
Yeah, very, very good play then. Michael Schultz went for the boundary line, Really what he should have tried to do was keep the ball in front of him, and that, by not going out, has really set up Collingwood. And Brian Taylor, who has kicked 6 goals, kicks truly. 7 goals to Brian Taylor.
And that's just the one that Geelong didn't want.
Yes, it really was. Michael Schulz going to ground then really did create some sort of problems as Tony Shaw recovered. Over to Saunders. Saunders appeared to be looking for Taylor. I'm sure he was. Yes, I'm certain of it. And Taylor once again kicks, and as you can see, the breeze just pull it back nicely straight through the middle of the goals. 16-12 to 8-13. We're back in the centre of the ground. So, can Geelong keep the initiative and make a real game of it in this last quarter? 15 minutes just over to go. Flanagan sits underneath the ball and will get a free kick as Tony Shaw infringed trying to get the ball. And now gently throws the ball back. Misses some opportunities wide. Goes long with a torpedo punt kick. A lot of players back there. Shane Kerrison reads it well over the back. Goes out wide in the Mullane direction. Well shepherded. Turner clever. Can he keep it in play? No, he can't. The ball comes away and Saunders marks on his chest. Saunders looking for options. Ends up going out in the Banks direction and marked just inside the boundary line. So Dennis Banks round the mark far too easily with Flanagan. Now sets up play. Tony Shaw was clever in getting it back. The ball smothered on the boundary line. And a free kick will actually go to Dennis Banks. So we'll have a pretty good shot from behind the goals here. Dennis Banks plays on quickly and misses to the near side.
I think we know why he's been playing in defence a lot now.
So 5 kicks and 2 marks to Dennis Banks. 16-13 to 8-13. 8 goals, 48 points the difference as the kicking comes out to Bairstow. Bairstow sets up Linder. Linder off the side of the boot. In front is Dwayne Russell.
It's a markers and free kick he'll pay.
Free kick, call it what you like.
Now Russell is a good kick of the football, but he won't be able to score from there. He's on centre wing and goes with the centering kick to Linder. Kelly was late in his tackle, but it's through for only one behind, or is it a mark on the line? No, it's a behind. So 8-14, bad luck for Brownless, but just behind the line when he grabbed it. 8-14 to 16-13. And Bill not too happy with that decision. Let's watch it again. Gee, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the umpire was right. Kelly. Strong grab. Mullane. What am I saying? Mullane.
Off to Christian. Christian's caught. Surely that was got to be holding the ball. He calls play on. Yates breaks clear. Kicks back to centre half forward. Pack of Collingwood players. Brown's the first to recover. He goes long and direct in the cloak direction. Over the back is Linder, up one-handed. Schultz picks up the crumbs with an awkward-looking kick. McGuan able to control the ball. Does very well indeed. Kicks the ball back to Saunders. Saunders over the top to Christian. Christian to cloak, no. Dummies well onto the left foot. And with a wobbly left foot kick scores a point. So Collingwood 16-14. Geelong 8-14, and that margin remains at 48 points.
Tony Shaw, Collingwood captain, with some ice on the shin. That can be very painful, not the ice, but obviously the injury. Well, Stoner was in a little bit of trouble there. Ultimately got it to Schultz. Hooks it back. Kelly almost. Comes out with the ball, but the whistle had gone. And it's going to be a bounce on centre wing on the outer side. 62 players, 110 in the Foster's Cup action in Joe Robbie Stadium in Miami. Now that will be a free kick for holding the man, going Collingwood's way. Where's Fellows to take it? It's almost like golf shoes he's wearing. And a strong mark to Saunders, who's done well since he came on. Seems to have a ruck roving commission at the moment. He's covering a lot of ground. Saunders from left centre wing. Flanagan backing back into the pack. Banks an opportunity. Linda farms it out to Bairstow. The Cats will get clear, but they're breaking down across the half-forward line. Exel nearly gets overrun by Jamie Turner. A little bit slow to get rid of the ball. Collingwood tackling well. Morwood, the opportunist. Short pass, beautifully delivered to Banks, who thought about playing on. Centering kick for Taylor. Strong mark. Brian Taylor has 7 goals already and a chance to bring up Collingwood 17th. On a slight angle. 13 kicks and 8 marks to Taylor. And that could be 8 goals. It is.
Spot said we better duck for cover because the missus wanted some new colour. But that was okay because Mitre 10's big price cut specials had saved the day. Save $6 on every 4-litre can of Taubman's Living Proof Silk. Not $38.95, now $32.95. Look, $5 off every 4-litre can of Taubman's Sunproof Satin. Not $37.95, pay only $32.95.
How about that, eh, Spot?
Yeah, Mitre 10's got the flaming lot.
Mitre 10. You need it, they've got it.
And that was Brian Taylor's 8th goal. And a pretty good performance in the key forward post. Umpire Sheehan will bounce it just off the centre circle. So it looks as though Collingwood will be playing in the final of the Foster's Cup, which will come to you tomorrow week at 6 a.m. Toronto. Chance for the Cats if they can gather in. Alderdice. Good long kick after gaining the ball rather awkwardly. Turner. Turner in 2 or 3 minds. Has to get clear of Kerrison. Snapshot for goal. Oh, Scott tried to sock it off the ground and touched through. Bairstow's kick not quite making it. So a point to the Cats. They're 15th behind. 8-15, 63. And Collingwood 17-14, 116. Shane Kerrison does the kicking in with 9 minutes left in the game. Favouring the outer side. Cloak and Schultz were the flyers. Russell in trouble. Stoneham over the top with a looping hand pass to the running Turner. This time a better balk. Turner turns, shoots, and has put it through for Geelong's 9th goal.
Michael Turner becomes the 4th Geelong player to kick a goal and try and get some respectability into the score. They've in fact scored 3 goals this quarter to Collingwood's 2. As Michael Turner's bulk and an excellent kick. Goal umpire in very good position to get underneath the post.
It was on the replay. Michael Turner saluting the crowd. 116-69 in Collingwood's favour. Kick away by Brown. Lands left half forward for the Magpies. The Cats defending desperately through Schultz. Schultz has kicked the centre wing. Mullane intercepting well. This is Paul Hawke. Well, you got clobbered for his trouble. Saunders kick into the goal square. And good defence by McCrabb. And the ball was rushed through for 1 behind. So another point to the Magpies. 17-15, 117.
The kick comes from McCrabb to Linda. Linda goes wide in the Stoneham direction. Puts up one hand. Now attacks Kelly. The ball falls to Alderdice. Alderdice quickly to Turner. A lot better play from Geelong. The handball comes from Turner to White. White into the open goal.
Hit the
goal
post.
to Geelong. No!
Hit
Yes,
the
hit the post. Oh, you wouldn't believe it. So 9-16 to Geelong. 17-15 to Collingwood. The margin, a mammoth 47 points.
Well done, Malcolm.
Shane Kerrison with the ball. Once that first short kick's not on, Collingwood then go long. 9th kick for, not including that one for Kerrison, who has been a reasonable player in defence. The ball falls out in the Morwood direction. Very cool on the back move, really has trouble handballing. Exel retains possession. Caught from behind was McGuan, and then smothered by Stoneham. So ball up, 45 metres away from the Geelong goal. Umpire Peter Kerry had to put the ball down. Just over 6 minutes remain. Big jump from Burke. Saunders first onto the ball. Uses Banks, who ran in support. Kicks the ball back and only to fall in the arms of Bruce Linder. This loose man. Both sides have played most of the night. Over to Russell. Russell forward. Moore with a drop on the ball. Once again, Stoneham goes one hand. It falls to Denham. Denham onto the left foot. Oh, excellent pass. An excellent mark from Michael Turner. So Michael Turner kicked the last goal for Geelong. Will go back and kick his, well, attempt to kick his second goal for the quarter and for the match.
One of the best leads we've seen from a Geelong player tonight. Michael Turner, the veteran of the side. Would I be correct in saying this could be his last game with Geelong?
Yes, he has announced his retirement, I believe. As Michael Turner kicks 1 point only.
Five kicks and 4 marks for Michael Turner, so not his most productive effort in the blue and white jersey. He was, of course, enticed out of retirement to play season 1988. Shane Kerrison, straight down the ground with his kick in. In front is Burke. Over the top was Manson, the 2 number 30s. Russell with bulk, with strength, gets it to Stoneham. Fumbles the first attempt. The second one was okay, and the kick is likewise. It's a goal.
Unmistakable aroma of Robert Timms, from the house of Robert Timms, the home of fresh coffee.
Bairstow's kick up towards half forward, and a mark taken by Exel on the bottom of the pack, or is it?
Brownless.
Brownless. And Billy Brownless, a couple of umpiring decisions tonight just haven't gone his way, and again having a few words with Brian Sheehan. Bounce. Not a particularly good one. Now here's Exel. Good tackle from Paul Hawke. McGuan overruns the ball, and it's going to be a bounce. Left half forward for Geelong. 3:43 remaining in the game. The crowd are going to see a Collingwood victory in the Foster's Cup. Turner can't get clear. And again, we'll see a bounce, this time on centre wing. Burke had a fresh air shot. Now the umpire has given a free kick to the Cats. And Damien Burke's going to be the recipient. It's against James Manson.
Sean Denham, Peter.
Sean Denham's going to take it, is he?
Grabbed high.
And Sean would be the shortest man on the field. A real poor calorie build, isn't he? Denham from left centre wing. That's not a bad sort of a kick, though. Just off the hands and one behind. So 10-18 Geelong. Collingwood 17-15 into the last couple of minutes of the match.
Harrison again going long. Oh, excellent mark from Craig Kelly. It really was a strong mark. Under tremendous pressure then from Dwayne Russell. So Kelly, recruited from Norwood, playing his first game in the Collingwood colours, kicks the ball to centre half forward. Over the back is Saunders. Saunders shoots. Thank you very much. Another goal to Collingwood.
At 7-11.
7-Eleven. We never close.
This month, get a free Coke with every Dinkum dog.
Saunders' first goal, Collingwood's 18th, and a very handy lead over Geelong. So the Magpies will be in action in Toronto next week. Oh, Kelly trying to go through, nearly had his head taken off. and he'll take the free kick. It's a good build of a fellow. Kelly to half forward, and Christian, he decides to play on. Turner maybe foolishly plays on, but he gets within range to shoot and puts it out of bounds on the full.
There's been very few out of bounds on the full, Peter.
Surprisingly,
yes,
yeah.
In this confined space, or what players are used to. There hasn't been a lot of, and here we go for this mad charge for the football.
Well, we might not see any more play because there's no time on here. Come on, fellas. Now it's back. But it's been a good display by Collingwood, especially after quarter time when there was only 1 point the difference. White to take the free kick. Not a well-delivered pass. Gavin Brown, cloak from a standing start. And Banks takes the mark and would probably have got a free kick anyway. Dennis Banks almost in the right forward pocket. I guess if there is such a thing as a pocket on this ground. For the sake of uniformity, that's what we'll call it. Dennis Banks for Collingwood's 19th goal has put it through for one behind. I'm glad you're coaching next to you, Malcolm, because as a statistician, your writing is very hard to understand. And the siren has gone. I didn't hear it in all the hullabaloo, but the Magpies have run out convincing winners. 18-16, 124 to 10-18, 78. Malcolm Blight assures me that's a victory by 46 points. So the Foster's Cup finishes in a pretty good win to Collingwood by 46 points. Pretty well level at quarter time, only 1 point in it, but the Magpies, with Brian Taylor a real focal point in attack, he finished up with 8 goals. We're clearly the better side on the night, especially after the first change. So as players shake hands, we'll take a break from the Joe Robbie Stadium in Miami, and we'll be back with our summary and interviews in just a moment.